aggressive, tenacious, hard-working.
I'm Jed Dietrich. I will personally meet with you for a free consultation, and that's a guarantee you can count on.
That's where you start comforting people. That's where I think you're just so dedicated to what you do that it's second nature to you. This is just who you are.
You could definitely feel that they were concerned, and because they knew you were so well prepared and that we had a very strong case.
You don't worry so much when you know somebody else has the ball and they're not going to drop it.
You're going to stay there behind that person and get the job done. Your follow-up was phenomenal. You know, I didn't have to worry about something being taken care of or being communicated with. There was always, everything was taken care of. Your word was golden. You know, you said what you said and you did what you said you were going to do.
I'm sitting at a red light and the light turned green. The cars in front of me didn't move. I didn't move, but the car behind me moved. Got into an accident, had a couple of injuries, shoulder, neck injury, hand was tingling numb. Went home, called my main man. He says, call Jed. Right away, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The next morning I called, Peggy answered the phone. Put me into you immediately. I was surprised. I didn't expect, I was thinking I would make an appointment and then come in. You got on the phone, you took a little bit of basic information for about 5 minutes, made an appointment, and I was in to see you the next day.
And then when we sat down and talked, Terry, why don't you just explain how that went?
Well, first of all, you asked me about myself, what I did, who I was. I mean, you took a personal interest in me, and I don't know if you were just trying to calm me down or not, but it worked. I don't know if it was intentional. And then we got into the meat and bones of the accident. I gave you my insurance policy that I had. You found out I was a little underinsured, unfortunately, so you really had to work hard to take care of me, which you did. And you just told me what to do. I had gone to my physician, my family physician, and told him what had happened, just like I told you. And his response was go to PT. And I immediately went to PT, and I ended up in excruciating pain. You sent me to a chiropractor. And the chiropractor was the smart person. He did the MRIs, he did the x-rays, and I personally didn't think I was hurt that bad. I was almost ready just to blow it off. I just had a little pain, and I thought after a while it would go. And found out I had a spinal neck injury. Rotator cuff was torn and dislocated. And it was all found out because you sent me to the right people. I might not have gone.
Why don't you just explain a little bit about how it worked as the case proceeded? We really take pride in trying to get to know our clients as you and I have got to know each other over the years. And what it was like from your perspective in terms of our inquiries and what we required of you and what you thought that we were going to provide to you and what we did provide to you.
You provided excellent customer service. I mean, my background is a stockbroker. You know, money and life, what are the two most important things? I mean, I hate losing money for people, you know, but my life is more important. And you guys literally became my lifeline because my insurance company, they were trying to back out. Every time I called them or submitted something, well, you go see our doctors. And of course, their doctors didn't see anything more than me than my old doctor did. And you just wouldn't take no for an answer. And you kept sending me to specialists and sending me to specialists. But the insurance company was fighting you every inch of the way. And I mean, I bugged you people so much because the insurance company kept calling and telling me no, no, no. So I'm calling you, Jed, oh this, oh Peggy, they said this, and I can't do this. And I thought this was okay. And you said, don't worry about it, Terry. Don't worry about it. You said that so many times to the point where I just believed it even before you said it because you kept taking care of all the little roadblocks that the insurance company kept throwing up there for me. I mean, you just were so dedicated about making sure that every I was dotted and every T was crossed.
And I appreciate you saying that, Terry, and that's one of the philosophies that I try to express to my clients as we bring the cases along. It's a matter of the insurance companies not being fair. They don't treat you fairly. And I always say, if insurance companies were fair, I wouldn't have a job. And because they're unfair, it allows me to use my skills that I've honed as a lawyer, and being a lawyer for over 10 years, just doing this particular area of work, serious personal injury cases. It's allowed me to have the background, the experience to say, okay, I am anticipating what's going to happen here. And because it's going to happen, we're going to be proactive and do what needs to be done to shore up the matter, to make your case as strong as possible, and to help you through it. And that's what we've tried to do. I mean, you and I, Terry, you have come from the customer service background, so I think you can have a good perspective on
definitely.
what that means. And I want you to explain a little bit more about that.
Well, customer service is like, when I get that phone call from the insurance company and it sends me into a panic, I make a call and I get a call back. Most of the time it was within 12 hours, but always within 24 hours. I remember you talking to me while you were driving home, just, hey, Terry, I wanted to get back to you. And then you would apologize. Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't get back to you sooner. I'm like, well, God, I just called you 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago. But that is where I got my confidence.
Right.
Because you were just so there right away. I mean, and if you were out of town, I got the call from Peggy. Peggy said, hey, Terry, I'll tell him this when he calls in. I think one time you called me on the road. Yeah. You were away with your family, and Peggy told you when you called in for something, and I got a call back from you. And that call was very crucial because the writing was on the wall that the insurance company was saying no.
Right, and that was the matter, just to fill the folks in, where your insurance company was going to send you to an independent doctor, which is really not independent. This was an insurance company doctor who's really hired to say that you don't have a lot of injuries so they can cut off your treatment. And again, when these insurance companies say they're going to take care of you, it's just not the case, because what they try to do is increase their stock value and reduce the cost of their premiums and not pay their folks the claims that are due. So with regard to your case, it's a no-fault case, a New York State case where you're hit by a car, your own insurance pays for your medical bills, and you're thinking your own insurance company is going to pay those bills because you've been paying your premiums, and that's the contract, the agreement you had.
Yep.
And then you get into it and you see that they want to cut you off. And with regard to your situation, it ended up with you having a surgery, and they wanted to try to get you to their doctor before that surgery was going to take place.
At the time, I was a basket case, so
Sure.
I mean, you guys were so nice to me. I mean, you realized that I was basically living on the edge.
Right.
And I needed some support, and no one else could give you that type of support. When you're fighting this big mega insurance company, I mean, I've sold insurance stocks, so it's good that they get good premiums, good returns on some investments.
Right.
But when you're on the other side of that coin, man, you need somebody who knows their game inside and out. And I really had no idea of the fight that I was in for.
Sure.
I had no clue.
Aggressive, tenacious, hard-working.
I'm Jed Dietrich. I will personally meet with you for a free consultation, and that's a guarantee you can count on.
But after you had taken care of me so far, especially with the shoulder, I mean, of course I'm going to listen to everything you say. And it turned out I went to one of the best orthopedics in Buffalo. I had no idea. And you can't research every doctor. You can't research everything. So it's nice to know that, your lawyer knows all the medical people that you might necessarily need. So you're not going in and getting a second opinion and a third opinion. You can go to somebody and they are just as thorough as you are. I mean, you didn't refer me to some little hack or whatever. They were just like you as far as dotting every I, crossing every T, making sure I get there, making sure the paperwork was done, to answer the insurance company's doctors.
Exactly.
Because they had a little bit of, had with their paperwork didn't say the same thing as my insurance doctor's paperwork said. And, so it's like a team. It's like you put a team around me with a chiropractor to keep me going until I had the surgeries, then the surgeons themselves. So it was a team. You know, Peggy was part of the team. You were, my doctors.
Right. And what we do is we try to use that team approach with the personal attention that comes from being with a smaller firm. And that's a guarantee that I provide to every single client. I will personally meet with every single client. In addition to personally meet with the clients, I will return those phone calls within 1 business day and get to know you so that I can present your case to the best of my ability. And now we're out at Maple and North Forest in Amherst, which is my new building here.
Nice,
and
very nice.
I appreciate that. We've got our own parking lot here, and it facilitates a closer relationship between my clients and my staff and me. And I think that's important because my clients will go to the doctor and then they'll stop in at my office because my parking lot's right there 20 feet away from my desk. And they'll say, hey, I just went to my doctor and this is my situation, that's my situation. So we can be very close in terms of tracking the case versus going downtown and do a large building where you got to find a parking spot and you got to walk up in the winter.
It is nicer.
So.
And I don't know if you remember or not, but I have sent a couple of people to you.
Yes.
And one, you could not help. But the thing is, you sat down and they met with you, and they were also kind of surprised and said, hey, Jed was just like you said. I said, I told you. He said, you call him Jed. Yeah, we really call him Jed.
That's right.
I said, hey, Jed is there for you. You know, you will talk to him. And it has turned out that way. I was recommended to you.
Right.
He was very, very happy with you. He had to change jobs. And, you know, he had, worse physical problems than I did.
Yeah.
And everybody we've ever sent to you has just been extremely happy.
And then you and I have conversed since your case was over in an effort to just say hello. And in addition to the case itself, we got to know each other. And I know you've got your own business now, which has been going well. And that's great. And
I still get a Christmas card from you.
and I try to do that because the relationship, initially, it's good for both of us because it allows me to know more about you so that I can make the presentation to the insurance company and to the lawyer, and if we have to the jury. We don't have to do that in your case, but I try the cases, obviously. And then once you have a relationship like that, then it inures to both of our benefits, because if you get into a jam, whether it's with another personal injury problem or you know somebody has a problem, you're comfortable in knowing that I'll be able to take care of it for whoever you refer to me.
I would refer anyone to you.
Anyone,
my clients, my friends, family, which I have. I feel secure in doing that because I know you took care of me. I know you've taken care of a couple of other people I've known personally. So why wouldn't you not take care of everybody? That's just you. That's just you.
I appreciate that too.
Aggressive, tenacious, hard-working, compassionate, dedicated, hard-nosed, a fiercely loyal advocate. This is the way Jed Dietrich's colleagues and clients have described his character.
I'm Jed Dietrich. I will personally meet with you for a free consultation, and that's a guarantee you can count on.
Jed, another thing, you practice what you preach. If someone doesn't believe it, come in and just meet you for 10 minutes. 10 minutes will say that every picture they've seen with you on a bus or on television, 10 minutes will say, hey, he's just like, what he presents himself to be. And that's just you, and that's something that comes across. Again, that's where you start comforting people. That's where, I think you're just so dedicated to what you do that it's second nature to you. This is just who you are. I'm sure you're like that, with your kids and things of that nature.
Well, and what happens is, and it's funny because I always knew I was going to be a lawyer from day number one because I had this personality that was somewhat confrontational, and our business is a confrontational business. And I try to say, and I've been happy to put this out there for folks. I'm aggressive, tenacious, and hardworking for you because you need somebody like that. And there are too many lawyers that aren't like that out there.
Yeah, you're like that to quote unquote my enemy, in this case the insurance company. But with me, you got the other side where, you can hold and, relax somebody and let them know you're on the job so we're comfortable with you. Right. And we just know you're going to do a good job. You don't worry so much when you know somebody else has the ball and they're not going to drop it.
Occasionally it comes to a point where I don't know the answer. And the way I handle things is I say, hi, I'm going to look into that. Again, I don't know what your insurance company said, or I don't know exactly the law on that, but try to get back to people with a reasonable response, as opposed to coming up with some story along the way and saying, well, I think it's this way and let's just forget about it, or pushing it off to something else, which...
Well, you know, that happened because remember, I was going to school and I was working at the same time. And I was trying to get, I forgot what's called, you know, the money I get.
The no-fault and the disability benefits.
Yeah, and they weren't coming. They weren't coming quick enough. I remember you had to write a letter to them. You had to talk a little bit. There were a few phone calls because they were dragging their feet and giving me just a little bit of money until, you know, this whole process went on. So you did have to do that. We did have it was a little wrinkle there. And I remember saying, they shouldn't be giving you a hassle like that, you know.
Right. Well, Terry, I do appreciate your time here, and I thank you for saying what you said, and I wish you good luck. Thank you so much,
thank you.
Terry.
Thank you for everything again. It was nice to be able to say thank you.
All right, take care. I'm Jed Dietrich, and I fight to obtain the best possible results for you. I settled a brain injury case for $11 million for a waitress, and I battled to obtain $4.5 million for a nurse, and I fought to obtain $2.5 million for a New York State trooper. Match my track record against any other lawyer. My results speak for themselves. And the best part is, it doesn't cost you any more to hire a lawyer with a track record like mine. Contact me, and I will personally meet with you for a free consultation. Dennis, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. We're here talking about how you came to me. Why don't we just talk about what happened to you originally?
I stopped for a school bus and I was hit from behind. When I came to, there was someone knocking on the window of my truck asking me if I was okay. I was transported to the hospital, and sitting there, I realized that I was going to be in trouble. I was going to be laid up for quite a while. And I hired one of the big firms, and honestly, it didn't go so well.
What was it about hiring the big firm that was a problem that really brought you to my attention?
Well, first of all, I didn't feel like I was even being taken care of, like I was not even on their radar. They transferred me to different attorneys in the office. They didn't know my case. They didn't know who I was as a person. And I felt like I was just getting lost out there in their files somewhere. A friend of mine, he kept saying, you know, I had used this attorney named Jed, and I had great results with him. He kept saying, call Jed, just call Jed. And I did after several months.
And were you concerned about your case slowing down because you were switching lawyers in midstream, or a problem occurring because you'd have to facilitate that change in lawyers?
Yeah, it was a big concern for me. In fact, we met, I think it was, 3 times?
That's right. We met 3 times, and after the first time we met, we came away with a mutual understanding that I didn't know if I could help you at the time. Obviously, I'm not going to get involved in your case if I don't feel like I can give you some type of a positive benefit. Now, I can't guarantee any results, but what I can do is evaluate your claim and say, based on my experience after doing this job for over 10 years, can I become involved in your case, and can I move it forward to help you?
I was laying there in the emergency room saying, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to run my business? You know, I was physically incapacitated, and I had bills to pay and a business to run, and I did not know how I was going to do that.
Right, and that is something that, again, early on in your case, we talked about that, and it was the mantra, the fighting call that I used on your case to really get behind it. That's the thing, and I try to do this with all my clients, try to pick out one thing associated with their claim to use to rally the matter. And that's what we do. We work as a team approach here with my staff. And we said, okay, Dennis knew pretty much from the get-go he was going to have some problems. And now it's a matter of fighting to get you the compensation you deserve so that you can pay your bills. You're a small businessman. At the time, you were just getting going with that.
Yep.
And it was a matter where from start to finish, when I first realized that, until when we brought your case to conclusion at a mediation of the matter, which we're going to talk about in a minute what that is, all throughout, what I was thinking in the back of my head was Dennis needs to support his family, Dennis is injured, and Dennis needs help.
We had contact with your office at least once a week, back and forth, whether it was an email, whether it was a phone call, whether it was a letter, constant communication.
And we, again, do that in an effort to get to know you and then to allow you to know that we're working on your behalf. I mean, I like to say we're in your corner. I'm in your corner because the legal business is a confrontational business. It's a business where insurance companies and insurance company lawyers are out there to keep the money in the insurance company's pocket. And they're out there to take the money or keep the money away from you being the client. So, I mean, I like to say I'm aggressive, tenacious, and hardworking for you so that we can get you the results you need. And I attempt to achieve the very best results I can. Although I can't guarantee results, what I can do is say, we've got a protocol here. We've got a way, a structure of working together and to work with the doctors, to work with you, to work with your family members, to work with the witnesses, so that we're building a foundation upon which we can build a house. And we want to build that house out of limestone. We don't want to build that house out of slate. If you're with some lawyers and you don't have the confidence that lawyer is going to call you back or it's taking care of your case, then you don't have confidence with the lawyer, and it creates a weak foundation. So when push comes to shove and you're about to go into court to try the case, you may not have the confidence, and you may say, well, I don't want to settle for this, but I'll settle for that much, when it may not be the right amount. And we talked about that, Dennis. Let's change gears and talk about how your case was resolved. Preparing the case for trial, do you remember the types of documents I sent to you?
Yeah, you had a lot of documents. In fact, you had I brought it with, a phone book size document of everything that went on in my case before we went in. And I was impressed with that. And it goes to show the amount of work that goes into it. I don't think people realize how much effort, time, preparation goes into it. And I felt really well prepared.
And I think because I try to keep you as informed as possible, I mean, it goes with my core philosophy, treat others the way you want to be treated. I try to treat you or put myself in your shoes. So I say, okay, I've got a document here which I'm going to send to the defense attorney. Well, I'm going to send every document that I send to the defense attorney or the insurance company to you also, so you know I'm working for you. And again, it facilitates confidence and personal attention for your personal injury. And why don't you just talk a little bit about that, the personal attention with regard to a small firm. And I meet with every client personally. You know that. You and I met together 3 times before we changed. Let's talk a little bit about my office that way.
Well, you took the time to get to know who I was as a person. You found out what my life was before the incident, before the accident, what my life was afterwards, and where I wanted to be in the future. And you developed a plan of how we could possibly get there. One of the biggest concerns I had was just the immense amount of pain I was in. And you helped me find the doctors that could help me with that. I'd known that you'd covered all the bases, and if things didn't go well, we still had the option of a trial. But you set the whole thing up to succeed in the beginning. You made it a comfortable setting, a workable setting.
Not every case gets resolved, but the vast majority of the cases get resolved, and they get resolved because of a threat of going to trial on that. And I like to call it more of a promise. And I say, I'll promise you that I'm going to do what I need to do and try to make every effort to do everything I can do to make your case as strong as possible, show the insurance company that, put the cards on the table with regard to that. When we worked together in my firm, it was never a matter of not showing exactly what our cards were. And I know you were like that yourself.
Yeah.
And it was a matter of you saying, okay, I was injured, and my injury should be fairly compensated, and I'm going to tell the truth about that. I'm going to tell you what my problems are, and then we're going to work with these experts to try to get you a good result.
You know, they had quite a lot more people on their side physically in the room than you had, but you could definitely feel that they were concerned because they knew you were so well prepared and that we had a very strong case. And I felt confident myself in your ability to produce great results. And that was a comforting feeling altogether. You're going to stay there behind that person and get the job done. Your follow-up was phenomenal. You know, I didn't have to worry about something being taken care of or being communicated with. There was always, everything was taken care of. Your word was golden. You know, you said what you said and you did what you said you were going to do. My life wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for the work that you have done.
Thanks, Dennis.
You're welcome.
Aggressive, tenacious, hard-working.
I'm Jed Dietrich. I will personally meet with you for a free consultation, and that's a guarantee you can count on.
You don't worry so much when you know somebody else has the ball and they're not going to drop it.
Your follow-up was phenomenal. You know, I didn't have to worry about something being taken care of or being communicated with. There was always, everything was taken care of. Your word was golden.
You kept taking care of all the little roadblocks that the insurance company kept throwing up there for me. I mean, you just were so dedicated about making sure that every I was dotted and every T was crossed.
I'm in your corner because the legal business is a confrontational business. It's a business where insurance companies and insurance company lawyers are out there to keep the money in the insurance company's pocket. And they're out there to take the money or keep the money away from you being the client. So, I mean, I like to say I'm aggressive, tenacious, and hardworking for you.
I would refer anyone to you. Anyone, my
that.
Clients, you know, my friends, family, which I have. I feel secure in doing that because I know you took care of me. I know you've taken care of a couple of other people I've known personally. So why would you not take care of everybody? That's just you. That's just you.
You get to know who I was as a person. You know, you found out what my life was before the incident, before the accident, what my life was afterwards, and where I wanted to be in the future. And you developed a plan of how we could possibly get there.
What does tenacious mean? It means I'm in your corner. It means I've got your back. It means it's a confrontational business, and I'm there to confront people on your behalf. 839-3939.
Aggressive, tenacious, hard-working, compassionate, dedicated, hard-nosed, a fiercely loyal advocate. This is the way Jed Dietrich's colleagues and clients have described his character.
I'm Jed Dietrich. I will personally meet with you for a free consultation, and that's a guarantee you can count on.